Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Highly Suspicious Podcast with Louie and Preston. My name is Louie.
My name is Preston.
I have rejuvenated energy today.
I can hear it.
We are back in the fucking trap house. We got fucking Pierce in this bitch.
Yes, sir.
Eight.
Boy, you left me the voicemail when you're like, I'm trying to record today, you know? Yeah, you said something like that. It was so fucking funny, bro.
Pull it up.
Oh my god.
Let's see if we
can... You're just real hyped for today?
I'm fucking happy to be alive today.
Did you feel like you were dying?
The voicemail,
I was half dead in the last episode. I'm not even gonna lie.
The voicemail is the shittiest quality, but
I let Nas down in the last episode. That was really sad.
Alright, shh.
Oh no.
Oh.
The voicemail. Well, I'm trying to hoop today, later in the evening, and I'm trying to record something. You can record today, that's cool. Well, fine. We're trying to get some pods out of the way. You know, I say.
No, I'm saying.
How do I have a podcast with any listeners? That was fucking incoherent.
Well, that was definitely just the voicemail just being shit.
Literally,
Oh my God.
Literally the only legible words I got out of that were "now I'm saying," and that's not even real words.
I like just, I'm trying to hoop today.
I bet that does not translate to the mic at all.
That's okay.
It's just absolutely incoherent.
I'm gonna send it to the CIA, and they're going to
transcribe it.
Yeah,
Enhance audio.
they're gonna turn it into HD audio.
Yeah.
And it's gonna sound like you're in the car with me. It's gonna be hyper realistic. I'm gonna start off with this question. What are your all's favorite labels? All time, you can go any decade. Hip hop, there are a lot of ways you can go because there was Death Row. That was Tupac, and wasn't Snoop on that label too? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was a big fucking wave.
I'm not gonna pick one in the decades that I wasn't alive, just because they're never gonna mean as much to me. But my favorite would probably, and it's funny that it is TDE. It's got to be TDE, just because the quality.
Preston,
it's not even fat.
I really don't keep track of that shit, to be honest with you.
I feel that definitely.
Yeah,
because
There might have been a point in my life where I would just try to play it off like I had a fucking answer, but I'm past that shit, alright? Fucking, I really don't know.
Okay. Well,
I don't feel like that's something a lot of people talk about. Is how.
It's a very specific kind of taste. If you're just okay, this fucking label kills it.
I feel like that's
I do feel like any time that a group of artists says fuck this and goes ahead and opens their own label, those are the best.
Yeah.
Overall,
I really fuck with
those are the ones I fuck with the most.
I feel like it's still a thing. It's not a culture that is completely disappeared yet, because people were talking about how dope YSL was. Thug and Gunna were locked up.
Yeah.
You know, that was a pretty stacked label, and it was just all a bunch of people that Young Thug got that kind of sounded like him. And I'd say J. Cole has kind of done the same thing with Dreamville. Get a bunch of similar artists to him that are just easy collabs to do. Sure. But I've told Pierce this, that when I first got into rap, it was Childish Gambino, Chance,
sure.
And then it was Drake.
Yeah.
And then after that, when I found Kendrick, and I started going down the rabbit hole of all of the dope ass artists that Kendrick has worked with on his label, in his group Black Hippie, they found Kendrick and they basically signed the whole group.
That's wild.
Which is Schoolboy Q, J-Rock, and Ab-Soul, who are, all three of those are fantastic fucking artists. But they've added a bunch of people since then. SZA is on top Dawg Entertainment, and she's one of the biggest pop artists of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'd say fucking Isaiah Rashad is fucking dope too. It's a stacked fucking roster. And for years, they were just pumping out this insane quality over quantity type music.
I have a lot of respect for any label that's willing to branch out like that.
That's a very distinguishing factor for TDE. Is that
they were able to branch out?
they were able to branch out, but the fact that all of their artists, they've managed to keep all of their artists to believe in the philosophy of releasing less, putting more time between their albums.
More quality. And
But we're almost past that point now, unfortunately.
You think so?
And Top Dog's insane run may be coming to an end. About a year ago now, Kendrick announced that his next album will be the last album on Top Dawg Entertainment. And it was kind of an abstract message because we don't know if he's retired, if he's done putting out music in general, if he's creating his own label, which is kind of what we get from the whole like PG Lang thing that he's trying to do.
It is a label. I thought it was confirmed that it was a label.
It might just
because it's got Tana Leone. I think that's like the label right now is Kendrick, Baby Keem, and Tana Leone.
But I think Keem's signed somewhere else too. But
they're all subsidiaries of bigger recording labels.
So Kendrick is out with Top Dawg at this point.
Yeah.
He is no longer a part of the label, I do not believe. And a couple days ago, on SZA's Instagram, someone commented on one of her pictures, congrats on the collab, but summer is almost over and there's still no album. Please don't tell me that you lied again. Crying face.
Yo.
And SZA responded, it's 100% Punch and RCA on this one. I wanted the summer. They wanted more time. At this point, I'm just trying to have a good time, stress-free. LOL.
Holy shit.
Punch, the person she names dropped, that's the president of Top Dawg Entertainment.
Yeah.
So she's saying that it's been 5 years since her last album. It's been
that's
5
wild.
years since the last SZA album. And that album was big as fuck.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the biggest albums, like.
And they're telling her that she needs to spend more time. So what it looks like to me is the label starting to try to
be more
overstep their bounds.
I'm gonna make though. I feel like I'm gonna play devil's advocate in this conversation, but
it's fucking bullshit.
You were saying that like you appreciate that they look for more quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And genuinely, I believe that should be their job, is to make sure that they are, as a label, producing good content.
Yeah.
And if they have a certain standard, or whoever's in charge of these decisions has a certain standard, and is like, listen, like, love you, but just needs more time. I think that's a respectful statement.
Yeah.
You know, we're not seeing behind the curtain, and they seem not so upset about it. They're like, listen, I'm just going to appreciate that I have some extra time on my hands right now.
All the opinions are going to be outside of the circle.
Because maybe
we don't know exactly
maybe something will come to them, and maybe they'll fix it.
And SZA could just be capping for all we know.
Yeah.
She could just not have an album together yet and be, schluffing the blame off on other people.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make NBA.
Okay.
Because I feel like there are a lot of comparisons you can make between sports and music.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
the industries too.
The artists are the talent, and the talent is, LeBron James, fucking Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and the best coaches in the NBA are just the ones that get the most out of the talent. And part of that is letting the talent do what they do best.
Exactly.
You can't over-control shit, bro. Because at the end of the day, it's their music.
Yeah.
And you're telling one of the biggest fucking artists of the last few years that, hey, we know you're hot and you want to get the next shit out to keep your fame or whatever.
Yeah.
But fuck all that. Because
yeah.
we're arbitrarily deciding that you would make more money with a longer rollout.
Yeah, I think it's kind of stupid.
Do you think that's the perspective that they're coming from? Is that if you wait longer, there's going to be more hype?
Well, that's a small part of that.
There's
going to be hype around SZA regardless, but it's more of like, they probably want to get like a single out, they probably want to get like a music video out, they probably want to have like a whole rollout shit for it. But at this point, there's not even a single, so it's just like, what's happening? I want to go back to the numbers. I like the numbers because before Kendrick even said that he was leaving Top Dawg, it has been a minute since we've seen a lot of these artists. Like I said, SZA, 5 years. Before this last Kendrick released, it was 5 years. For J-Rock, it's been 4 years.
That's wild.
For Ab-Soul, it's been since 2016. What is that, 6 years?
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten to drop an album in 6 years. And I know you don't know Ab-Soul's music, but it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Can you see like a commercial entity not prioritizing his release when they're trying to get out like Kendrick shit and SZA shit and all that?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of fucked up that to just be like put on the back burner like
that? I bet Ab-Soul is he signed still?
Yeah.
He is? I'm sure he's fine with it. You wouldn't go 7 years without releasing music and not say,
True.
The thing about it is we have no idea. Ab-Soul might be up punch his ass right now going like, why the fuck can't I release an album? Or he might be sitting there going, he might not, music might not be his priority for the next, it wasn't for the last 5 years, and now it's like, okay, now let me drop an album.
Yeah.
We are speculating with all
there's
the
still
other
people,
artists.
they gotta live their fucking life. Sometimes your life takes time,
Totally.
shit.
And that's kind of what Isaiah Rashad said, For Isaiah Rashad, he just dropped an album last year, and before that, it had also been since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's a long-ass time, but he was kind of saying, like, that it was just some real-life shit, and he had to go to, like, rehab and shit in the past 5 years, and he did a bunch of shit in the past 5 years.
I think the thing
he didn't blame Top Dawg, so we're kind of speculating on the other people, which I get you all saying, like, we don't really know, but where there is smoke, there is fire, and there is shit that we're visibly seeing where shit is not right at Top Dawg. Yeah. Shit is not right.
Well, I think Kendrick branching off and doing his own thing was going to eventually happen anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't put that on Top Dawg. Kendrick's just on another level because he's been so big for so long. He's probably looking more into just becoming just like an executive.
He just wants to produce what he's going to produce and wants, like, I see him starting his own label.
Yeah. Kendrick's just doing his own thing.
And it would just be like Baby Keem and a bunch of young people like that.
But
he wants to.
Who's to say that Kendrick's label doesn't just take all the fucking acts from Top Dawg if they're not fucking happy over
genuinely.
SZA does not sound like she's fucking happy in this response.
True.
Even down to the I'm just trying to have a good time, stress-free LOL.
I don't know if
that sounds like she fucking hates Top Dawg.
I don't know if I'm ready to say that they're on the downfall though, because SZA just might be under a misunderstanding of what she thought her contract was. Like, she doesn't know, like, oh shit, like, there's really like a required time period between my albums. But
are you gonna use like the pandemic to explain why all of these artists haven't dropped in so fucking long?
Well, that's how it's always been for all of them. It's always been 4 or 5 year releases, and they all get their own separate release, so they can't just drop Isaiah's and then drop Schoolboy's. Even though they kind of did that, didn't they?
What?
How close was Schoolboy? Schoolboy was, his last album was Crash Talk. What was that, 2020 or 2021?
19.
That was 2019. So that's 2 years. See what I'm saying? That's 2 years between Schoolboy and Isaiah Rashad. And how long had it been since Schoolboy dropped before Crash Talk?
But
was a long time. Like, they always. It's not, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not SZA's turn. Maybe it's Ab-Soul's turn because it's been fucking 7 years. And they're like, hey, SZA, we understand that you want to release this album, but we have obligations.
But who's to even say that Ab-Soul fans and SZA fans are even the same fucking people?
SZA is 100%.
SZA's fucking huge,
She 100% is going to get them more money.
The Taylor Swift listeners are fucking excited for the SZA album.
Yeah.
Fucking people like me are excited for the fucking Ab-Soul album. And that's cool, but, like, why are they even trying like that? Why are they making it like that? I'm sure J-Rock got some shit in the tank. I'm sure Schoolboy got some shit in the tank.
They all do. They all have so many songs in the vault, 100%. That's another thing about TD. That's why I'm not even sure they're convinced they're falling off. They all grind the music. Because in my mind right now, they're still the top label, just because of J-Rock. Crazy. These people aren't even insanely commercially successful. Like J-Rock's made it. He's up there. He's not. But he's not. I mean, he's not a megastar.
The thing about it though is we're almost talking past tense when we're talking about all these artists. That's what
well,
I'm saying.
J-Rock.
We're saying that J-Rock was dropping some heat fucking almost
4 years
10
ago.
years ago.
So just
4
think
years
about
ago.
it too, like.
But Redemption, that's not J-Rock's best album. And that's
Redemption
his
was
latest.
fire.
And that's his latest release, and it's only been 4 years. And look at the trend of TDE.
Only 4 years?
2018 is when it dropped.
Only 4 years?
Well, this is this.
Half a
We're talking
fucking
about
decade.
TDE. That's what they do.
Yeah. So I'm about to say.
Some people just aren't about that. This is like 4 years too long.
Kendrick's last album and then listen to this album, and like there's something fundamentally different going on there. Like
Yeah,
you can tell that
shit.
a lot of time has passed. You know, he's got a different perspective on some shit, whatever.
You sound like Baby Keem and shit now.
Right. Well, and we were talking about
Well, bro,
these artists could sound totally fucking different on their next album.
That's
you
how
know?
long it's
they're
fucking
definitely because they're creating concepts. They're creating new sounds.
Yeah.
Kendrick's always now. Maybe this is kind of why TDE's like this.
Yeah, maybe that's why they want something of that.
Kendrick's always developing a whole new sound
Yeah.
every album. You know what I'm saying? And that takes fucking time.
Before
And hella
2016,
time.
Yes.
before 2016, Absol was dropping an album every 2 years consistently. For like the past like decade, he was dropping an album like every 2 years. And since 2016, he's been fucking ghost. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. To be honest, I'm not liking I don't fuck with record labels at all, bro.
You think-
The
Wait, so I
business
was
side
about to say, I don't
between
think we
shit
ever got your
is-
answer for what your
Favorite label was.
favorite label was.
I would have said. I
Was
said.
this all leading
I
up
said,
to
I said,
the answer, which is I don't like any of them?
Fuck labels.
That's a hot take.
I said, you're putting fucking words in my mouth. Relax. But I was gonna say, retroactively, fucking Top Dog, because I literally fuck with like every person on the label. But
As of
I
this
said
moment?
it. I would have said it past tense because in the past few years they've been fucking nothing.
Well, Isaiah Rashad, Schoolboy Q, Control before that. That's good.
I mean, like the past few years.
No, you mean like 2020 to now?
Yeah. In the new decade, they released like 2 projects, bro. And
It's been 2 years.
Isaiah Rashad's album was great, and Kendrick's album was great. But
That's 2.
if they're holding fucking these
So what are you
artists
mad?
hostage.
That's 2 great albums in 2 years.
I mean, I guess.
It's all subjective anyway, though. Like,
Yeah, I think you just hate waiting. We all hate waiting.
some artists release music at a different pace anyway, and like exactly.
I like it. I don't mind it at all because I'm listening to new music all the time. I'm not sitting there
There's
going,
so many
I
fucking
need Kendrick to
artists.
drop.
Yeah.
There's so much music
Who the
out
fuck
there.
listens to one person like that to where it
Yeah.
feels like a long amount of time?
There's so many older artists too.
Everyone on Top Dog are like my favorite artists. So I'm coming at it from an emotional ass place, and I fucking get that. But Absol was one of my favorite artists when I started listening to him in like 2016.
Do you think he's still rapping? I think.
Yes.
You think he's still rapping?
And I think he's being fucking held up.
Yeah, I can 100% see that.
do.
I can see that. Yeah, it's all because of numbers. That's why I would rather they would be doing unless Absol doesn't want to drop an album.
Do you think
They're doing Absol dirtier than they're doing SZA. What?
Do you think that J-Rock doesn't want to drop an album? I mean, that's what's so fucking great about those Top Dog artists. All
not
of
on his
them
Instagram.
just love music, just genuinely love making music. And sometimes they do release shit where they're just like, I just kind of made this for fun.
Yeah.
You know, Redemption is just so fun. And I don't think that took him like a particularly long time to make. You know what I'm saying?
That's music that he's never made before, though. You know.
Yeah.
And he was, you when you're on TDE and back when Kendrick was still there, you want Kendrick vocals. You want Schoolboy Q vocals. For people who don't know, Redemption is so good. Oh my God.
By J-Rock.
J-Rock Redemption, that album, easily still one of my top 10 albums.
So let's segue. You want to play us your favorite song from that album, and that can be our musical intermission.
Ooh, what's a good song?
We can go for
The
it.
devil thought he had me, I was on back burners. Moonwalking fast, y'all respect my journey. Evil tapping in like the feds is watching. No album, no dope, I was all out of options.
Damn, Louis. Spitting bars, freestyling.
I don't think the people not a lot of people are gonna appreciate that album for what it is. You know?
Yeah.
It's so rough and hard as fuck.
I think it's pretty.
It's so fucking good. It's gritty.
We can do For What It's Worth.
You think that's the best one?
That would be one to talk
I
about.
think that's
for sure.
That's
true. Intermission is not always about the best. It is just about what's scratching an itch.
Here, let's put that on.
that whole album. You wanna go work out, listen to some J-Rock. Go listen to Redemption, that whole
I can
album
appreciate music like that.
That whole album is hard as fuck. You wanna go crazy in the gym?
Go crazy in the gym.
Go crazy just on the fucking streets. I don't know what the fuck. Go if you're ever trying to go crazy, ever trying to get in that grind mind state.
Gotcha.
Listen to Redemption, bro.
They say money's the root of all evil. I say the power of pussy is scar. That pretty flower will spoil you and it poison you. You get amnesia to everything you was loyal to. I wanna fuck this little bitch, but I know she bogus.
Pierce, you want to talk about the song?
For what it's worth?
Yeah.
I mean, for what it's worth. You gotta know what women are like.
I would
You have to know
always
which
used to tell you those lines. I would always used to tell you that pretty flower will spoil you, they'll poison you. And I would dead ass tell him that, bro.
Bro, remember?
And you would tell me the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, everybody needs to hear it every once in a while. Sometimes you can just have your fucking head up your ass.
Facts. Sometimes it's always so obvious when somebody else is in some like dumb relationship shit until it's you, and then you're like, nah, bro, it's all good, bro. It's all, dude. This is the best relationship, bro. It's like, nah, I don't think you understand what's going on here.
What do you think of that song? You fuck with it?
Yes. I do see it being not everyone's taste.
Yeah. That song in particular.
Yeah. How similar is the rest of the album to that song?
A lot of the songs are like harder, probably more accessible.
That one's kind of soft, but like
yeah.
But in like just
it's like
the perfect way,
soft,
where it's relatable.
Soft is the wrong word because I feel like the beat sounds like nocturnal and it's like a vibier track.
Yeah.
But J-Rock is still hard as fuck on it.
Those bars are
it's just not
real.
as hard. It's not as fast paced as a lot of the other songs.
Right.
Yeah.
So it hits different.
Yes.
Than a fucking just all around hardcore song.
Than like the bloodiest. Yes.
I love like the storytelling he does on there. Like, I love that he.
That's one of the most interesting things about your beat is it really changes what kind of story you're telling, because the sort of ambiance, the fact that it's just so repetitive, to where at a certain point you're not even thinking about it, you just hear the simplicity of the rhythm.
Yeah.
And like,
it
makes it way more complex than any fucking real hardcore.
There's nothing to the
fuck this shit sort of song.
There's almost nothing to the beat. Is it worth it?
I don't want to be here.
But you think about it in the context of what he's talking about. Like, he's saying, like, was it worth it? I love how he, like, says how the decisions would turn out, like, almost like a video game. Like, if I do this, this will happen. Like, he says, should I kill him or should I let him slide? If I don't, he double back, and we got family ties. If I do, I can't rap in that suicide. Because y'all turning you to felons 25. So it kind of tells you that, like, he's put in these positions where he's fucked either way.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's, like, a very real, like, catch-22 that we face a lot where, you know, it's literally like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Yeah. Not that specific.
Yeah, he just puts that fork in the road at the beginning of the song.
Yeah, either I'm going to take an L or I'm going to take an L in this situation.
And then he's like, I'm going to solve my problems off this fifth of Henny. It's just such a good fucking song.
Yeah.
It's so... That's another thing about that album. It's so raw. So raw.
And emotional.
Raw. It's not even raw. This one's raw and gritty. This is raw and gritty.
Throwback.
They're all up here somewhere, Louis. I slightly remember.
Bro,
almost every episode. We
I
have
s-
like 50 episodes, dude. It's crazy.
I don't remember everything we said on that.
Not everything, but
yeah.
there's
'Cause
a
we probably
clip.
repeated ourselves with
True.
some of this shit. Like, I feel like nowadays I still listen to a fuck ton of music, but I don't like learn the lyrics to everything anymore.
It's kind of
But, like,
more
just
so
to
just about
play-
the vibe and
Just
like,
to play that song, and I haven't played it. I don't play it a lot.
I'm not hunting for the perfect song with every song that I listen to. Like I said earlier, it, like sometimes shit just scratches an itch, and like sometimes I just want a specific vibe, and that's why I make playlists constantly because I just want specific vibes sometimes.
You know how I do it? This is how you're able to catch a vibe, because music always comes to you at certain times in your life, you know. And
That's true.
And so, like, if you, I make playlists for every year, and I'll restart a new playlist every year.
Yeah.
Because
I like
you're
that.
always gonna feel
like that a lot.
you're always gonna feel what you felt back when you were listening to that song, when you attach it to a certain time. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause the music I like now and that I really like feel and relate to is not what I'm gonna feel and relate to next year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It depends.
I mean,
on
it
how
could.
your
A lot
life's
of songs
going.
do. A lot of
But-
songs will span multiple years and multiple
Those are
playlists.
good songs though. That shows
Yes,
how
and that's
relatable
how you
they
know.
are.
Yeah, and that's how you know what good music is.
Yeah,
Which
genuinely.
songs make it through all those playlists.
And this is a perfect example of a timeless song for me, where I still know fucking every word to it, even though I don't.
For me, it's making.
You didn't never like
playlists.
learned it.
Yeah.
You just learned it because you've listened to it so many times. Not even just because you were sitting there going, I need to know the words to
Yeah.
this song. Yeah.
The playlist that I have that's the longest is like 8 hours now,
Mm-hmm.
and it is from, like, when I was deep in quarantine,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's just over, almost like 2 years basically.
Yeah.
That I've been working on it. It's so interesting because listening to specific types of music, and then just being like, let's go to the radio for this on Spotify.
Yeah.
And it exposed me to so much new shit.
It's dope.
Stuff that's old, but just would have been inaccessible to me otherwise. Like, it's just like, oh, this is kind of related to this musically. So, like, a lot of it is, I went from, like, Motown, funky
I've
shit.
just really been getting into that
and
shit, bro.
then it directed me towards, like, listening to music from Africa. And, like, learning about how there's Saharan desert bands that got electric guitars in like the 80s or some shit. Somehow there was some
Wow.
interaction with like American culture, and they got access to electric guitars in the middle of the fucking desert, and it's the funkiest, craziest shit you've ever heard, and it sounds like fucking war songs. Like it's like a modern day, like, I don't know. It's got like a bluesy, jazzy sort of feel to it.
Yeah.
But it's also got a lot of like rock influence with the way that they play.
Don't they call that shit like desert rock or something?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I've never really listened to it though.
And then it's so weird because like Afrobeat is all music that is sort of like that comes from Africa is just classified as Afrobeat. But there's so much variance because there's like Nigerian music is so specific and like
Nigerian, bro. There have been a lot of Nigerian
it's
artists growing
crazy.
up. But African artists have been kind of really breaking on into the English scene because a lot of them learn English.
Well, for me, it's crazy because it's all in their like native tongue, or they have a very thick Nigerian accent.
Yeah,
and it's so distinct.
but they're
and
still
it's amazing because even if I don't understand what they're saying, it's so rhythmic and like they have such a like unique way of singing.
Yeah,
there's so much rhythm.
There is so much. There is a lot of rhythm in that shit. And they have a lot. Even though they're speaking English too, they still even have a lot of the.
It's like the
like
way that
local
they say
dialect.
certain letters and shit.
Yeah, the way they twist some words because they just they grew up in another country and they say
like,
English words a lot differently than we do. It's so
and they'll have their own words for shit because they're influenced by different parts of the English speaking world.
It's a different English, but it's still English. So you know 80 to 90% of what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then they throw in some other shit. It's that shit's dope. A lot of this African music like Wizkid, Burna Boy. They've been big for a while, but they've been really blowing up onto the Western scene, bro.
Huge right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's so interesting listening to shit that I
Tim's.
Don't think I ever would have listened to at a certain point in my life. Biggest fucking gratitude for living in the time period that I live in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a lot of things suck. But like, I have so much access to culture, and it does make my life better, like inherently.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to appreciate shit and not even fucking understand the lyrics and just be like, I'm vibing.
Yeah, there's some
right
Spanish
now.
songs I like, and I
And
know
shit's good. Like, it's just objectively good.
Yeah.
I love
it. Doesn't. You don't have to understand it, but you can hear it in people's voices. And
it makes
shit
you
like
appreciate
that.
music when like you can't understand the words.
It does make me appreciate it more than shit.
It's a completely different way of like kind of listening.
Right.
Like, cause you listen to the words.
To
It's not like
tone.
it's not like
they put so much feeling into the instrumentation that like or the beat and other aspects.
You know Rosalia, right?
I don't fuck with her music at all.
Yeah, I've listened to some of her shit. But she's like originally like a flamenco.
Oh, yeah.
She's like a flamenco artist. Or I don't know if that's how you say it. Just like but flamenco is like just it's a South American style of music.
That's recent.
And they count music in like 12/4 some weird shit.
That's insane.
Yeah, and the sound, I love the sound. I've been really trying to get into that sound. But she's really good too, bro. And she's like obviously done more like popular shit. She doesn't do like flamenco anymore, but
I really like the
Rosalia's got some fire ass fucking grooves, bro. The way she understands rhythm is crazy. I'm not even gonna lie, like some of the shit. And then, but she also has a song in her new album where she sings like in a concert hall. Like it sounds like to me like some classical, like Colombian song or something. Cause I'm pretty sure she's Colombian. And it's just like she's so fucking talented.
Interesting.
She's so talented, bro. But I don't understand a fucking word she's saying.
Yeah. You don't have.
But she does speak English sometimes. But that's like barely.
I think it's more interesting when there is a song that's not in English and then they have a few English words for just like making a specific point. You good, Louis?
I've been trying to get this joke out for the past 2 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Hey, bro, you
Yes,
gotta be
you
patient
sometimes.
when you have 3 people on a podcast, bro. That's how it goes.
I love the XXX Tentacion song, I Don't Even Speak Spanish, lol, where he has like 10 like, reggae Latin artists on his song, and he like just shoehorns himself in there, and it's his song, and he doesn't even speak Spanish.
Well, when did it
appreciate
release?
that.
That's kind of hilarious.
When did it release?
2018.
Was he alive?
No.
Well, then
Yes, he was.
He
Wait.
was.
That was.
He did it from beyond the grave.
It was on the Question Mark album, and that released while he was alive.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
I don't even remember that song. Fire album, though.
What the fuck, Louis?
You should be a singer.
See, that's the reason why we do musical intermission halfway through. We can just branch off into whatever the fuck after
True.
that. And that's what we did the last episode. I'm licking my lips to talk about this Billy Woods song.
Oh, yeah.
Preston.
Billy Woods?
Yes, Billy Woods. I don't got that much shit.
Well, you've been playing with that Teddy's ass for like 10 minutes.
He was
Just
like playing with the ear or
Thinking
shit.
about world music makes me horny.
Oh, I feel so cultured. Oh my god. There are people like that though who are just like, I don't know, they inflate their ego by feeling like they're superior to everybody because they've experienced more. Like if you meet somebody who's climbed a mountain, they're kind of a jackass. Like
Yeah, probably.
they just like hold it over people.
I've climbed a mountain and you haven't.
Like people who are overly competitive just about living life.
I feel like they would have a bumper sticker like all the people that have like the marathon things where it's
Yep,
like
exactly. No, those are the same
13.1,
people.
But it would just be a bumper sticker that says I climbed a mountain.
Yeah, it's the people who put the fucking marathon sticker on the back of their car.
That's the same exact personality.
26.2. Get the fuck out of here. I don't care that you've ran a marathon. All right, bro.
And why would
It's funnier the people that have ran a half marathon.
Yeah, the 13.
You didn't even do the whole thing. What the fuck are you so proud of?
I saw a
Quit bragging.
stand-up bit where he was like, ooh, a half marathon. I just read half a book. I just watched half a movie.
That's fucking hilarious.
That's accurate though.
Hey guys, I did try telling your teacher you did half your homework, bud. I did half my essay.
Hey, yo, I did half of it.
That's fucked up.
Go to your boss, I did half my job. I did exactly half of what you wanted me to do.
the work you told me to
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm gonna be straight up. I was having a bad day. I did exactly half of what you asked me to do. Hope we're good, G.
Alright, bro. I will say, if you ran a half marathon, that's good on you.
If you ran a
Good on
half
you.
marathon, go
it.
kill yourself, and that's the moral of the story.
Nah.
Louis' hot take of the day.
I'm gonna cut that out. That's
Questionable.
yeah. I came in hot this episode. I had to make up for the last episode because I was fucking.
It was still a good one.
I was coming off of a 3-day bender in the last episode. So.
I could not
Dang.
believe that, honestly. I was like, wow.
Bro, they didn't let me into O'Shea's
Bro.
Why?
because fucking Caroline's ID.
Oh my. She has a.
Okay, so...
Does Caroline have a fake?
Who told you? Because that's a lie.
It's not fake.
It is 100% real.
What is it, Indiana?
Yeah.
That's why it's sus.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking comes from Indiana.
Sure they do.
Only in Louisville, though. Anywhere else, you're hard-pressed to find.
But O'Shea's is in Louisville. So yeah, I went out with everybody and then I fucking just had to go home because we couldn't get in. Bro, did I tell you this?
Walking distance.
Did I tell you this story on the podcast? The balcony thing?
What?
Before we went out that night, we were at Sam's crib and we were gonna light a J on the balcony and fucking Caroline had it in her hands and she fucking dropped it and it slid through the cracks and it was on the like chair of like the second floor balcony. So fucking Mason went downstairs and knocked on the door.
It was like, hey, we dropped our joint.
And he was like, hey, we were just about to spark up. And the dude was like, oh, word.
Oh my god. I would have invited the homie back up, man. He was a G.
And he was like, yeah. And we dropped the joint through the floor. And it's on your balcony. And the fucking dude brought it out. And we got it back. So it was a happy ending.
That is hilarious.
I just imagine when you're a kid and like you throw a frisbee into the neighbor's yard and you have to go over there and you're like, hey, I think I dropped my ball into your backyard. You're just like, oh, word.
I would just break in.
I would have one.
I would have no communication with the neighbors whatsoever.
Actually, I remember doing that, and it was because it was a plane, and I had it like crash in their yard multiple times. It was like a little model plane, and I was too embarrassed, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna climb our like 6-foot wooden fence.
Yeah. No.
And I was
That's
probably
not
like
bad.
I was probably like
I would
4
definitely-
feet tall.
I would
At least you
definitely
don't have like the retreat gate where they have the spiky things on top.
Yeah, I probably would have died. Oh, dude. That one time
You
that
would
I
have
ran
died
from
at
the
the top of
cops,
that fence.
I did get a scar from the fucking barbed wire. That shit was awful.
That's
I
hard.
bet.
Like,
Barbed wire will fuck you up.
it was either that or I had to fight off a cop, and I'd rather take the barbed wire.
I'd take the cop. Pierce, do you want to have a conversation about your music still?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, because we're at 40 minutes, but I mean,
We'll clean
time doesn't matter.
Time means nothing.
So,
in the trap house.
I would like to introduce our new special guest, P. Welly.
P. Welly. I don't go by P. Welly just so people know.
Do you
Do you have a producer name?
moniker?
Yeah, it's my name.
It's Pierce Wells.
It's Pierce Wells.
I like that though, because it's almost like an action hero comic book type of name.
Pierce Wells.
Introducing Pierce Wells. Yeah, so you finally put ads onto Instagram and you're working with other people now, so...
That's wild.
Yeah.
How's that?
I would say I try to work with a lot of people. Most people don't try to work with me. I don't think most people have the work ethic that it takes. It's a big thing.
That's why a lot of people, it's just hobbies.
Yeah.
You know, because they know that they're not going to fucking take on with it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of that mentality that makes the difference.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
And you're doing this full time, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He produces music. And if you haven't heard his shit, it's all over Instagram by this point.
I have
We'll post it up.
I have 4 posts. And this is another thing a lot of people are not gonna understand. They're probably gonna be like, this is his first like music he's ever made. Like, no, I've been making music for a little bit.
Pierce has been making music for as long as I've fucking known him. No cap. I think that are these just like your newest shit?
Yeah, I think it's it's not all my newest shit. It's what fits the sound I'm trying to put out right now the most.
I hear that. That's a good move.
Is it just like a fuck it mentality where you're just like, okay, let's put this on the gram. Let's put this on the gram.
No, it's more methodical than that. But it is the time where I'm like, because
you probably are saving your best shit.
I think
you are.
I'm over trying to do this all privately because people are stupid.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. People aren't willing to see talent unless you have the audience behind it. Which it's kind of like I can understand that, but at the same time, if you're a fucking nobody, if you shut the fuck up and take these fire ass beats.
If you've been producing for so long, do you have a huge backlog of shit that
he has
could
a huge backlog?
Yeah, I have a pretty big backlog.
So realistically, I think in art in general, that is one of the best moves that you can make is just have a lot to bring to the table already.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
it makes it so much easier to like not you don't feel like you're playing catch up like as soon as you start.
Yeah.
You know? Because there's content if you just need to be dropping something.
1,000.
And like
I think
the
clip
easier to
is
fix
full.
something up and make it ready to drop than to produce a whole new fucking song. Like and just like creatively in general, if you're trying to really get going.
Yeah.
You gotta have shit ready to go. Like you
Facts.
want to assume that you're gonna have this audience so that you can actually provide it.
Yeah, I'd say the bigger skill, more importantly, that is what all you said is 100% facts. But another thing too is you need to be able to pull shit up in the moment, make shit in the moment as well. Like you can have all the catalog in the world, but like let's say somebody's like,
you gotta keep that drive.
I want my own shit. You need to be able to make good shit on the spot that they want.
Yeah.
Immediately. That's something that artists will value. Because I work with anybody. I'm really trying to look for artists to work with for a long time. Somebody that I can really connect to on a personal level. So that way we can, actually just sit there and send shit to each other.
A dynamic duo.
Send whatever. Because instead of it being like, okay, I don't know this dude, I'm going to have to send him something very particular. Instead of me just sitting there making music and then sending it and being like, all right, either work with this or tell me that's not it, and then I'll just send you the next thing. But most people don't have that work ethic where they're ready to get shit every day. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm at that point where I'm at the fuck it, I'm not making music until motherfuckers are working with me stage. Because I don't need to make more right now. Yeah. I still make music every day because you got to keep it going. You got to stay warm. Yeah. But it's not my main priority right now. It's just finding connections and investing, putting money in the right places.
That's a pain in the ass part of it, isn't it?
So I have an idea. For the audience who may not know, you made the fucking intro for the podcast.
So I didn't. I know you got two podcasts. The past 2 seasons.
The season 2 and 3 intros have been done.
The first one was not me. I don't know what that was.
It was just some shit that Louis found. It did us right at the time.
It was a fucking
generic ass
bin
thing.
Sound fucking royalty free.
Hey, but what are you getting at? What are you getting at though?
So post, because I know there's a longer version of our intro. We don't play the whole thing. Post that shit, and we'll share that shit around.
Yeah, y'all have commented on my shit too. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll if y'all start doing that, I'll definitely start posting y'all's podcasts because I didn't do that. I think I shouted y'all out once.
Try to blow that shit up as much as we can between.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I'll take it. I'll take everything. Bro.
The full intro for this is fire.
Yes, it is.
Hey, man.
And that's a good idea.
It's little drops. This is little drops.
Yeah,
little portfolio things,
Starting off, which is where the stage you're at, where you're starting off. It's like, have you seen Shark Tank at all?
What are you about to say?
When motherfuckers come into the Shark Tank and they're like, I have no numbers. I've sold actually
literally nothing. I just have this idea.
Yeah.
And every time they're like,
that's
you're too early on, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And you were 100% right when you said
they want people with a fan base, all that.
The talent is not recognized until the numbers are behind it. Because when artists see your profile and they're like, 1,000 monthly listeners, multiple thousands of monthly listeners. That's when you start getting more traction because that's when artists are like, That's not a fucking nobody. That's someone who could actually help
influence
me
my career
where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's almost the same perspective to some degree with what we do. We're looking for, you know, some people that we can get on here where, you know, they'd be able to promote it and reach a larger
just so we have more
audience.
exposure, because otherwise it's just kind of up to the algorithm, really.
Or people we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is limited.
The biggest thing is local. I'm really trying to get locally Louisville. I want the city of Louisville to really just
Fuck yeah.
just the people who need to know my name, you know. So I'm slowly stretching out. That's really just the biggest thing, is get Louisville to know my name, and not even just like everybody walking around the street.
People who know who know.
The people
type
who
of thing.
know who know.
Yeah, you just gotta, once you get some people to fucking work with, like, you only need one, like, decent viewed song to, like, start moving.
Yeah.
Because you could even do it where you had your own Spotify, and that shit would show up on your Spotify with, you know, however many streams.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the clip is full.
The clip is full.
That's all I know. He's been playing me heat for so fucking long, bro.
Yeah.
Every time I'm fucking hanging out with him, he's fucking producing.
Yeah.
He really pumps some shit out. He really sits down and, like, comes up with the whole shit, like, right in front of me.
That's wild.
Like, you really do need to kind of be the same way an artist, like a rapper, singer, or, you know. You gotta be able to, like, produce, like, on the spot. Like, you can't just, like, be expected to be like, oh, I have whatever timetable to fucking do this.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you've been doing, fucking.
Yeah.
Really tapping in on how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I make a lot more, like, shorter things. Like, I'll just work, like, 8 bars. Like, I usually, like right now I only make past, like, 16 bars. Because I've made so many, like, 64-bar things, 64-bar songs, which, you know, you just double it up. Or if you really want to go crazy, make the whole song something unique and do, like, 128 in one shot. But, yeah, no, I just been really making a lot of short, quick things just over and over and over again right now. Because I can expand on it now. It's not about learning how to expand and how, like, what am I going to do with this loop. Like, no, like, I know exactly what the fuck I would do with this.
It's so that you have shit you can go back to, like, for real.
Yeah.
And
especially if you have a sound that you're going for.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea. Like, if he can show, you know, a 4-bar loop or whatever to somebody.
Just catch the attention, bro.
And they'd be like, oh, I fuck with that. You know, Pierce could be like, all right, I'm going to build it out now.
Right, so I got an idea now.
And that also helps with the music, too, being, like, there with it. Because you could be like, what type of song are you looking for here? Like, what type of vibe should I be going for?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, definitely, bro. But that's another reason why I'm posting the certain ones that I'm posting, is just to give a sample of what I can do that's unique. That's what my Instagram is for. Like, what can I do that's unique? But, like, bro, I got shit that sounds so different than what I posted. Like, it's just, you guys gotta give it time. People will see the versatility. People will see the work. Shit's going on the up. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Been going hard.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, I think that we're going to leave it at that.
Thanks for listening to this episode, everybody. We'll see you next week. Everybody will be linked and posted up on Instagram.
For sure.
In the bio. All that shit.
Thank you, Pussy Wells, for showing up.
Yeah, absolutely.
The best guest that we have consistently.
Yeah.